Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. We are now live.
Live.
I'll do the intro today.
Welcome. Oh, okay, you're going to do it?
No, you can do it. I don't mind.
I was just going to say, welcome to another episode of Knifemaking Down Under.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Poor podcast that you can tune into, but we talk about knives and shit, so it makes it fucking unreal regardless.
Yeah, pretty much. And Adam is, we've got a special guest tonight who's making a lot of background noise. I'm going to have to start muting him. Jeez, man. We've got a special guest tonight, Adam from Tinderbox Knives down in Tasmania. So, Adam Coombe, I don't know, Adam's probably not the most well-known knife maker in the main continent of Australia, but down on the little penal colony down south, he's pretty well known. Is that fair to say, Adam?
I wouldn't say. You could have just said Adam is not and stopped there.
Right.
Because No, I know a few people around. There's not a huge amount of knife makers around, but I'm friends with a couple of the older guys. Barry Hosking, bumped into John Hounslow today at the shops. So those sorts of guys, but yeah. I know there's a fair few up and comers that I don't know at all. So
there you go. So we've got Adam with us tonight.
And so I was going to say, why do you have Adam? Because I called at the right or wrong time.
You just called me up this evening and said, Corin, hey, how are you? Do you want to have a chat? I said, how about you hold it for a half an hour and we'll do it on the podcast?
We'll chat online. Let's hope it wasn't a private, personal sort of conversation. Although it could boost our ratings if it is.
All right. That's cool. We've got some listeners now.
What part of Tassie are you from, mate?
Well, I live in I'm in Tinderbox, hence the name Tinderbox Knives. So yeah, it's about 25 minutes out of town. It's a funny little. You drive through suburbia, and then there's this little peninsula called Tinderbox. That's where I've ended up. So yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Really happy and lucky to be here. It's awesome.
Yeah, so 25 minutes out of town. 25 minutes out of town, to put that into perspective in Tasmania, that's a long way. In Sydney, 25 minutes from my town gets you to the next suburb in traffic. So if you're lucky. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got a heap of people coming on now. It's all happening. Andrew Smith, another Tasmanian. Douglas, Steve Eads. Good day, mate. How are you? Julianne, Glenn Beaton, Dwayne Williams.
Dwayne from far north Queensland. We've got like the extremes going on here.
Yeah, it's all happening. So Ads is just setting up his audio. He'll be holding his mic all night. It's all a bit Tasmanian actually. So we thought we'd have Adam on because whilst he's not the most well-known knife maker, it is actually a fact, Adam, that you are a founding member of the Knife Art Association. You were one of the first 8 that set that organisation up. Is that not correct?
I believe so. Yeah, you have to check the records, but no, it was way back in the day when I can't remember if I'd moved to Tassie or I was still living in Sydney at the time. But I think I'd moved to Tassie, you were talking about putting on a knife show, and you said, "Well, we need some people to be on a committee," and I said, "Well, I'm a person."
When did you move to Tassie?
It was end of 2013, so 2014. Very beginning of 2014.
Yeah, no, that's all right then. You were actually a member of the KAA before you moved to Tassie because we started it in 2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Before then, might have been known to a few people because I used to come out to Corin's place pretty regularly for hammer-ins. We'd have a great time. It was very fun.
So maybe we get started about knives and your background with knives. What made you interested in knives as a kid, maybe, or later on?
For sure. I used to play with knives. I mean, I think I got a Swiss Army knife from my grandfather for maybe my 10th birthday or something like that. And he thought it was brilliant. He said, "Look, there's 28 ways to cut yourself on there." He was wrong. I mean, you can't really cut yourself with a fish scaler, but there's 28 things on there, whatever it was. I always carried that around a lot. Used to go down the bush with mates, take my old man's hunting knife and stuff like that. I think I destroyed it. Had a stack leather handle, and I think it got wet, and I probably killed it. But I always appreciated knives. Used to work around the place. My family's a catering company, and so I used to do catering from sort of 14 onwards. So I've been handling kitchen knives for a long time. It didn't go. I mean, I've killed things, I've skinned things, but it's not a big part of my life, I suppose. I have been fishing, but again, not a big part of my life. Kitchen knives are sort of the ones I use the most. In terms of making knives, look, I got interested in metal sculpture and metal work when I was a kid.
I think I might remember that actually. In Swado's garage.
No, it was my garage. Oh, it was both actually. It could have been Swado's and my garage in Castle Hill as well. Yeah. No, my old man taught me how to weld and stuff like that. But it wasn't really until I think Facebook came out, and for a lot of younger people wouldn't remember Facebook not being around. But I hadn't seen Corin for a little while. He had a young family, and I moved to the inner city, and but Corin basically, made friends with Corin. Corin made a knife. I said, "Oh, that looks great. Come have a look." And he said, "Coming out." I rode my motorbike out there, and I thought I was just going to have a look. And Corin said, "No, you're making a knife." I was like, "Oh, okay." And from then I was hooked. We made, and that was back in the day when we were using recycled steel. So my first blade, which is in my car, which is only a few meters away, was made out of a recycled big concrete saw blade. It's still got the little notch in there from the cooling fin, which I left in there as a bit of a design feature. I was hooked from that night onwards. I think I left with a heat-treated knife, shaped, beveled, heat-treated knife, and the very next time I was available, we were both able, I went back and did the handle. And I used to work shift work a lot, so I wasn't always able to get out to Corin's place. But whenever I could,
that would have been what, 2010 or something?
About that, yeah, probably. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I don't even, you probably told me, but I don't even really recall where you were in your knife making, hobby, pursuit, endeavours at that point in time, how many you'd made, but you were making, I mean, I remember that Scandi that really hooked me, that you made. It was beautiful, and so from there on was just trying to make stuff, and I think it was like my third knife. I was out at Corin's, and because I used to live in Redfern, so I had no space whatsoever, and so I was all over.
Just to interrupt you there, when you say no space whatsoever, Adam, people don't realise just how no space you had. I remember staying at your house, and I think if I lay on your floor and reached out with my feet and my arms, I could touch both walls of the house.
Almost, but pretty close. Yeah, it was 3.3 metres wide on the inside.
That's the width of the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had a lounge that could only fit in two places in the house. I wanted to put it under the window next to the front door, so I had to take the big wide arms off it and replace them with thinner arms. Like the arms were like that wide, and I had to put on some thin ones like that wide so it would fit, so I could open the door.
So there was no garage. There was no garage. There was no garden shed. So where did you set up your first knife workshop, Adam?
In the laundry. Where else? In the laundry. I was lucky to have that laundry, to be honest, because along that street I used to live on, the block in Redfern, and they had all the houses were the same, and the bathroom, all the houses had bath. Well, generally they were 2 up, 2 down, with a kitchen and back. I don't really know. Like the bathroom was an add-on, and for a lot of people that was it. But I had a little bit more at the end, so it was a laundry, but a bit of a storage area as well. And so literally I had my Radius Master. When I finally bought my Radius Master fixed speed, I set it up there. And I bought a burner off Corin, and Corin gave me his old forge, I think, and I was doing some heat treating in my courtyard, which is like 1.5 meters wide.
So to all those people that say you can't, the secret is, Adam, just don't have a wife.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between can't and shouldn't. So you probably shouldn't, but you can do it. There was dust, like dirt through my whole little house there. I had a girlfriend, it was all right, but she stayed around. She stayed at her house. So, but yeah. So, and that's So it was. Put in perspective, I've come home from town. I'm on 7 acres here, but I travel 90 minutes to get to Corinth's house for a weekend to go and make some knives out there.
And we used to do that we used to do that at least once a month back in those days. We were pretty regular.
Yeah, as much as, I used to work shift work, as I said. I used to do 2 days, 2 nights, and so it'd muck up your weekends a fair bit. But no, wherever I could, I'd get out there. It was brilliant fun. And then
we were making yeah.
Well, I think my third knife, I was just talking about the other day because I was thinking about making some Canister Damascus, and I've got that sitting in my car as well. Actually, is a Canister ball bearing Damascus knife that we made. Well, we made. I made the knife. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing the Damascus under my little 3-ton fly press, guys, with just very small dies in a canister. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
No,
we have to be we have to be fair about that. We just filled a piece of steel tube up with steel balls, welded it shut, and wailed on it. Really, that's pretty much what happened.
Luckily, it didn't explode on you, Corin.
Yeah, I know, right?
It would have had to have been sealed properly. I got out there and we didn't have any plan whatsoever. And Corin had been cutting open these the car bearing. He was using the 52-100 casings, but he'd just been stockpiling all his ball bearings. And so we just I remember getting there in the morning and it was like, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. And so it was a piece of thin furniture tube. Just crimped one end, no powdered steel, no idea, just poured it in there. There's different size bearings too, so the gaps must have been huge.
And we had like 1/2-inch balls in there. Remember that? We were just sticking anything in there. Like we didn't have a clue.
That looks about right, yeah.
And there wasn't a ton on the internet back then either. Like there was forums, that was pretty much it. And then we'd done some basic reading. YouTube was around, but it was fair fresh, and there just wasn't a lot. Yeah.
No. The Australian Blade Forum was a godsend, I guess. Facebook groups weren't really a thing. You were my knife resource, Corin, to be honest. So
I was just making it up.
Oh, I've learned too much. I've learned so much from Corin that I don't make that many knives.
I remember one of my memories, apart from making like hammer-ins and you coming down every time to my hammer-ins, used to get his Radius Master out of his laundry, put it in his car and bring it down to my place. We'd screw it to a pallet so we'd have 2 grinders at a hammer-in.
Yep.
And we did that we probably had a hammer-in every 3 months. Normally it was just me and Adam. But I remember we couldn't get any steel. That was actually at one of my hammer-ins where someone said to me, you just stop fucking around and buy in some steel because no one can get it. And you and I got a whole bunch of saw blades from somewhere. Remember that? We had about 50 saw blades.
I remember going to your place one time. You bailed at some bloke, and I did this only the other week here. I was like, oh, God days. But you bail up some bloke and just on the side of the road cutting concrete. And you just went, what do you do with your saw blades? Just like take them, and that was it. But actually, one really fun memory actually was sitting there and testing the heat treating. So I just cut off a bunch of strips of these saw blades because it was recycled. We didn't give a shit. But just heat treating them all the same and then tempering them differently and seeing what happened. It was really remarkable, just taking them.
We learned that's where I learned what it's all about. You see people use recycled steel and they're just saying, oh, it's this, and they do it. And we used to say, oh, it should be this, but we used to test every fucking thing. We'd make a blade out of it. We'd snap it. We'd bend it. We'd fuck around, and you'd end up with, you wouldn't know what it was. It was a saw blade, but you knew how to heat treat it. And then we used to write the recipe for that blade on the blade. So next time we used it, yeah.
Oh, I thought you had the recipes on the cupboard as well. But that was.
Oh, I did, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. No, I remember, one of them, like, it's snappy, like, oh, that's not tempered. And then the next one just flicked off, like always where always wear your glasses, basically. But this one strip just took off out of the vice across the fucking garage. It was intense. And then bending it was like, wow, there's that little difference, especially doing it with the heat with a torch. You know, we were just tickling it with the flame and just watching the colours go a little bit, and then checking. We didn't have a torque. I guess probably should have had it. Could have if we thought about it. Put a torque wrench on it, but just to see how it would bend and how it behaved with different heat treats, and it was really, really valuable experience. So I mean, it's great not having to think about all that sort of stuff. It is using known steel, but to be honest, playing with recycled stuff was really fun. And
you still do a lot in recycled steel. That's kind of your thing, isn't it, down there?
Yeah, I'm trying to. So I've got a couple of canisters that I've been working on a renovation now for too long, about 2 years, and I'm just about finished. It doesn't really look like it, but this is significant progress. So I really like the idea of recycling materials. Pardon me. So I've got some canister. I'm going to make some canister Damascus. Is on the cards. I've got some bicycle chain as well, and a few other bits and pieces. I bought some powdered steel from you, so I'm going to get back to trying to start experimenting again, which is just making life fun. And not really any specific plan, but just have a crack and see if I can make something pretty and fun. More than likely, sand wire to some known steel, so 52-100 or even I've got some 1075 sitting here, so I was thinking about just going cheap and good and just trying to just start up with a big wide stack and just try and stretch it out. I made a rolling mill a while ago, which works out really well, and I've also got a press here, so it makes life a bit easier. So there you go. Was that the long answer or the short answer for what's your knife history and stuff?
Yeah, I think we just covered everything. It's all good. You can go now. All right.
Back to my
dinner. So just for the benefit of everyone, where can they follow you? What's your Facebook and Instagrams and stuff?
So I'm at Tinderbox Knives on Instagram. There's not much on there. As I said, I've been busy last couple of years, more doing prep stuff to get more knife making out of the way. Facebook, I've got stuff on Facebook as well. Tinderbox Knives on Facebook as well. So I've got a couple of things I need to put up. I did a repair for this fucking cleaver. So, and I guess I haven't been making much effort to try and promote myself because I haven't had time to make knives. But just a little tidbit that So I'm a member of the local men's shed. I don't know what anyone else's men's sheds are like, but I can't recommend them highly enough. In terms of just access to people and resources and knowledge and everything is brilliant. So every year I've donated a knife to. I've done 2. We do a Christmas raffle. I'm pretty sure I've done 2, maybe 3. I can't remember. Anyway, there's either 2 or 3 knives I've donated for the Christmas raffles. They've gone on pretty well. And again, and that's just because I like to give back to the men's shed, and also just to have a bit of a give back to the shed type thing. But I've donated for that raffle, and then the local member of parliament or the state member, or I can't remember whichever one it was, happened to be there and won it. So it was a good little bit of publicity for myself, which was lovely. But then last year I should say, obviously because of COVID, there was no raffle, but the Men's Shed Association put on a charity auction, which they asked me to put a knife in for, and I got a bit of publicity out of that actually, which was really good. And it was just a knife I had here. I had no time, and I was busy doing everything else, so I just went, here's a knife if you like. But it got a bit of publicity. The main part of it was it goes to a charity thing called the Giving Tree, which the ABC run. So basically, the Men's Shed Association were giving to the Giving Tree, so then the ABC was promoting it. Got a bit of talk around the place anyway, so but I've got a bit of work out of that as well. I just did a repair for a guy. There's a well-known guy up north, actually, Mike Stevens, who recommended me to another guy to do a repair on this whopping great bloody cleaver, which I've got to put some photos up on my Facebook and stuff. I think the thing must have weighed close to 1 kilo. It was this cleaver out of the butchering shed. It was quite something. So thanks. But yeah, so I put a handle on that. Well, that one, yeah, those two knives. Oh, that's right. And I got 2 sales off. So those 2 knives actually went to Nick from Bruny Island Cheese. So he bid on my knife for the Giving Tree, for the Men's Shed Association, and narrowly missed out because it wasn't all that well run. But I sold those 2 to him for Christmas last year. So they're the last 2 knives I've made, basically. But went to a bit of an identity. I haven't really chased that, but when I'm in a position to make more knives, I had a chat to him about making some cheese knives as well, actually. So he's if people don't know, he was on the Gourmet Farmer. It was the show with Matt Evans, I think it was on ABC. So there's a bit of an identity around the place. But,
so Bruny Island Cheese. He's just across the water from you, isn't he? Basically, he's Bruny Island.
Yeah. So from Tinderbox you go down to Kettering and then you're over to Bruny. So, but Bruny Island's got a bit of Nick is more to the point, actually. Nick's the chairperson or something of the head of. He's the head of Brand Tasmania as well. So just from a couple of little bits and pieces, you can start to beat some people. It's kind of the way Tasmania works as well. So I'm not saying it's social networking, but that sounds like a nasty thing. But it's just getting out there and doing stuff. If you make a knife, talk to people about it, you'll end up talking to people about knives, and then people know your knives and stuff. So for the amount of knives I've made, I've got more publicity than I deserve.
So the other thing,
that's the one that went to the local member. So that was.
So just for the benefit of the people who are listening to this on a podcast, we're just flicking through Adam's Instagram. Jump in there and have a look. Tinderbox Knives on Instagram. So check that out. Adam, I'm just going to interrupt you because one of our good friends, Troy Hageman from Nowra Knives, who you would remember from those early days, is in hospital at the moment. So, guys, if you weren't aware of that, the Angry Wombat, we sometimes call him, Troy, was just a bit of a shout out for you, mate. He suffered an injury at work and he'll be out for 6 months or so. So,
good. I was just sending him a personal message through Facebook, just checking if he was okay, or if in fact it was just another butt plug that was stuck.
No, he doesn't use butt plugs anymore since the last incident. He sticks to sort of shampoo bottles only now. Hey, Troy.
No dandruff.
So, Troy, I take it the operation has gone well or whatever. If you can just let us know in the comments, mate. We're all thinking of you and wishing you well, that's for sure.
Just reach down and check they didn't take anything away that they shouldn't have made.
Jokes aside, Troy, I'm really sorry to hear, mate. Wish you all the best, and
So Troy.
Thanks,
Troy, Adam, Darwin Laher, Bjorn from Creative Man, Nordic Edge. All those guys used to come to those hammer-ins back in the day. But Adam was kind of the first one. Me and Adam was sort of getting together, making knives, sort of right. Not long after I started. I think it was like I'd put quite a few handles on blades, and then I started making. And I think the Scandi you referred to that you saw on Facebook was one of probably my second or third knife that I made myself. You know what I mean?
Oh, like I said, I mean, I've always, I've known a bit more history. I guess I've known Corin since high school, and he's always been, he's always got a good eye for detail. And I know we joke he only makes 1 or 2 knives a year. One knife a year, is it, Corin?
Yes. This year I'm running a little bit behind.
But it's a bloody good knife when he makes one. So, there's some really cool people out there. And some complete randoms that turn out to be great. I remember the Human Power Hammer. The gentleman who worked in law enforcement, he was quite an interesting chap.
Oh, Dave Grinter, Battleline Knives. Dave is Dave's golden. He's actually, if you read the articles written on Gamico's site, Dave, he's a legend. He's a legend. Yeah, I normally go and stay at his place for a week a year. He lives out bush, out the back of Goulburn. and he still makes. He was an interesting guy because he'd turn up with some stunning showpiece, wouldn't he? It'd be like, wow, that's fucking amazing. And then you'd come back the next time and he'd have a new one and he'd bring the old one as well. The old one would be all rusty and broken, and not broken, but all rusty and shitty. He used to just get them to this really great stage, and then they just used to just throw him in the corner. He didn't worry about them anymore. He's still pretty much the same.
I just remember he was making some, like, it was like a stiletto dagger type thing. Just sort of tongue in cheek. Oh, isn't that illegal, Dave? He was like, nah. It's like, he's a police officer, so he didn't care. So, yeah.
No, well, it wasn't anyway. He was right. Not in New South Wales, anyway.
Yeah. Not
in New South Wales. No. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
So anyway,
Nice
we'll just see do a bit of a round, see what the guys have been doing this week. Kev,
yeah, mate.
What have you been up to since the last podcast?
Oh, mate, it's all a bit of a blur, really. I've got back into a little bit of knife making, so I'm trying to work on a couple of jobs that I've had sort of on the backlog for a little while. Like I said last.
Just a sec. Hey, ads, I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Like I said last time, mate, just with the things that were going on in life, I put a few things aside. So I've been getting my ass back into my workshop as much as I can at the moment, and doing some stuff up there. I've got a little bit of a hindrance to getting into the workshop at the moment because my wife, Ro, had knee surgery last Friday, and I dropped her off at the hospital at 8 o'clock in the morning. They booted me out at 8:45, and, we'll get in touch with you soon. So I went off, as you do as the caring husband. I went and had breakfast and did some tool shopping. Spent a heap of money on stuff out at the tool shops. I got home and I was like, oh, well, no point in getting into the workshop because they'll give me a call any minute now. And, so I just watched a bit of telly, and then text messages came from some people about have I heard from Ro, and I'm like, no. And I look at my watch, and I'm like, that's getting on a bit. Next hour, sending out messages, still nothing. And then I was just about to Google the hospital's phone number to give them a ring, and I get this photo from my wife, and it's her leg in a brace, which basically meant best case scenario, worst case scenario, all wrapped in one bundle. She had a reasonably significant meniscus tear, which she's had problems with for a couple of years, but it was in an area that they could repair. So rather than just scrape the shit out and send her on away, they did a repair, which means longevity will be better, but in the interim, she's no load bearing and in the brace for at least 6 weeks. So I'm sort of teeing up the morning coffees, taking the dogs out, doing a bit of shopping, a bit of cleaning, a bit of washing, getting in the workshop for a few hours, and then reversing that around, take the dogs out again, come in, cook dinner, and all the rest of it. But if you've seen my Instagram, I've been putting up some reels. I've just discovered the reels thing. Yes, I know. I actually used to work in IT, but
what is that? What is it? What are you talking about?
You film, and rather than put a story, you put up a reel, which is people can choose to watch it or not, but it goes onto your feed. So I've just been putting some reels up, which a bit easier to do a bit of video content than try and keep posting up random single pictures here and there. But one of them I posted up was frame tang handle that I've put on a nice Takafu knife, but it was a piece of the green and dyed stabilized giraffe bone that you guys sell. That stuff, holy shit. I have to say, I was working it, and to me, I was just working it going, fuck, this is typical bone/antler, stinky crap. And I got fair way through the job, and then started getting to the hand sanding part. And then, I'm a fan of the U-Butte products that you guys also sell. I've been using U-Butte Ultra Shine for a significant period of time.
Yep. And you put me onto it. Yeah.
Yeah, look, that's not a particularly high grit sandpaper, and then the U-Butte Ultra Shine. And I would normally go back and do more. And I'm sticking with what that is. It's like fucking glass. I have to say, if you want to use something that's pretty cool, That's to remove a fair bit of the material, but it's still got enough of the green in it that I think it's quite nice. It's a mix between, a couple of people commented on there, a half.
Is that a watermelon rind?
Watermelon rind.
Watermelon rind,
other
yep.
things. Yeah. So, but the handle is so glossy and beautiful, and it's just such an awesome material. So, if you want to use something a little different, highly recommend it. Like, it's the second time I've used the camel bone stuff, but the other's on a folder I've had in the drawer for about 18 months. So that was one of the knives I've been working on, and the other reel I've got there is just a 52-100 blade.
Can I just jump in, Kev? So, just with that polishing stuff, would that work on just a regular timber as well, or is that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Specific.
It's
nice.
my go-to, mate. You've only got to sand up to about. The label says 600 grit, and depending on the knife that I'm making, if it's a hunter, 600 is fine, and then you put this stuff on because you don't want it to slip out of your hand, obviously. But if you want the higher polish, I think I only did 800 grit on that handle there, and it's a paste. It's got it's a play on words because it's EEE Ultra Shine, but it supposedly got that Tripoli substance in it, so it's like the soft stone buffing compound, and it takes it up to, like, somewhere they reckon on the label anyway, 20 to 30,000 grit. But I do that with a soft loose leaf cotton cloth on my grinder that goes up to about 2,800 RPM. And I've been working a technique on it I've been using this stuff for a long time, and I've put a few people onto it, and they sort of go, I can't get the same shine that you're getting. And I do think it's one of those things, again, a bit of longevity, length in using it and time using it. But it's one of those really good products where less is more. So you put it on small amounts, you rub it on until it becomes tacky, let it sit for a little bit, and then chuck it onto the buffer. And I'll run, I guess, if talking like passes over the whole knife, 3 or 4 passes over the entire knife, and then just buff it off with a soft cloth afterwards, and it comes up like that. Like that piece there, though, in particular, that bone was just freaking stunning.
It's beautiful. So the Triple E Ultra Shine is available on Gamaco's website. We do the whole range. Well, we do a good range of.
They've got a lot of other good products, but that's just the one that I've been using for a lot of years. That was one that Karim down at Tharwa put us onto, and it's just, to me, look, that's my favourite go-to thing. A lot of other things I used to use, the orange oil and all the rest, and put 17 layers of that stuff on and all that. And this just works well.
The beauty of the Triple E, it's made for timber wood turners, right? So it's you got to put it on hard and fast.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that it's not a coating on the timber. It is as well, but it's also polishing it, and it's
polishes it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's better than like a lacquer or some shit that you paint on there. It's going to come off or whatever. It is actually polishing the material. So, lacquer's not necessarily going to come off.
I've had knives that have had a reasonable amount of work come back in for a quick once over, and I've just run them on that soft cloth without adding extra Triple E compound to it. And, the remnants on there, because I'm pretty good with changing over the wheels, the buffing wheels on my grinder when I'm using them, and the remnants that are on there from each polish, it builds up over a little bit of time. So I've given stuff a quick once over, and it comes up, near perfect every time. So really good product, like a bit of a plug for that product, I guess.
I guess I really quite like how you've got the green handle matching the green masking tape on the blade as well. That
was a design element. I've got to just come in and fix up that little bit near the ricasso, chuck a bit of extra tape on there, because exposed metal.
How long did you spend looking for that colour matching? When you got the bit of giraffe bone there, you spent 6 months trying to find the tape.
Well, I had to match the giraffe bone colour to the tape because I've been using the tape for a lot of time. It's a little bit of a legend, the green tape.
Yeah, we're big fans of.
I was going to say, because I've got. I mean, I don't always like a really shine finish, but I've got some really nice bits of Huon that I've got from around the place down here.
There was.
I've stabilised it, and it does really nice. But I've only just waxed it. It's sort of come up okay, but that stuff's got the wow factor.
Yeah, I had a knife with some bird's eye hue on up front, and made that thing never seen it look better. Like it just polished up. It brings out just that real internal grain on it. Works perfectly on the harder timbers as well too. Like you use that product with some ring gidgee or any good stabilized product, and it just really does bring that that good shine out in it.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big fan of the Pink Rouge, and I'm going to stick with it. But yeah, I've got some Triple E here to try, so I'm going to Triple E Ultra Shine. I'll give that a go and see what happens.
Like so, you got to use a little bit. Like it took a little while to get the shine better and better and work out what was going on. And if you just take it straight off, it'll have a residual layer which you've got to I use a microfiber cloth. I get the cheap ones, Costco or Aldi or whoever has them on sale at the time, and just rub it down with that. Give it a good rub and tug, as they say, and have a big smile at the end of it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you?
Just looking at Steve Eads, had a question about the bolster material. So that was a frame tang knife that I did with that stuff there. The actual frame tang was some 2mm black G10 that I bought from Gamico. And the front piece is just a piece of black Corian. And it's got hidden pins and all sorts of other stuff in the whole thing. But that was good fun to make, actually. It was a nice little project and a little step away from what I normally do, and a little bit of inspiration to get out and do some more stuff that's different to me anyway.
So the bolster was G10, yeah?
No, the bolster was Corian.
Corian, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and
you did
the
say
frame
that, yeah.
the frame was G10.
It was G10.
It's got a mosaic pin in the back, and then about four or five pins hidden away in the middle there, keeping it all together.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so I did that, and working on a couple of other, like I said, just smaller projects to get things off the I should have done this a long time ago list. that's
So, Connie asks, is it stabilized?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, dyed and stabilized. Yep.
Great. David Hansen would love to see a reel with you using your disc sander.
Sure. Yep. No worries, Dave. I'll do that. I'll be using it probably tomorrow, actually, I think, this stage.
Excellent. Someone wanted to see Mert in his evening dress in large.
Les.
So I've got Mert
Guys,
up in his.
It's fucking cold, man. It's 7 degrees.
He's got
I'm
his-
in my shed. It's 7 degrees.
For the
6
benefit-
degrees. What do you want to do?
For the benefit of the podcast listeners, Mert's sitting here in his Hugh Hefner dressing gown,
Minus the tits.
and there we go. Have you seen Kieranite handle material? It's resin-based product, looks amazing. Some people do like Kieranite. I've thought many times about selling it. I personally, I'm not a fan, but yes, yeah, it can look great on the right knife and the right handle, sure.
And Tom Rebeck, mate, if you send me a message, just send me a private message, mate, and I'll give you my address. I've got a fella up here doing some stuff on Tuesday, but you're welcome to stop by the workshop if you're in town. It's generally open to the people that want to come here and see if they're around.
Good work.
Righto. What have you been up to, Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I had an interesting week. Just like you, Kev, I have hindrance getting in the shop, but different than yours. My reason is I got so fucking fat. I don't even fit through the door. I ate so much last fucking week. I just looked at myself in the mirror. I don't know. I gained like 5-10 kilos in the last week. So that's one. Yeah, I was coming to that. I was coming to the colorful handle card. Do you want to go back to the colorful handle shit?
Keep going. You keep talking, Mert. Keep talking.
Yeah,
Don't let me distract you. You.
Corin, do you remember us buying a pink handle and blade show 2 years ago? Maybe like
I do, actually. Yeah.
and that made it was dyed maple pink, and I was saying that I'll never use pink, and But I made a small knife out of my stainless steel 50-100, and I'm thinking like, shit, this is like a small Santoku, which I promised never to fucking make. But I got a small Santoku, perfectly fit for a female user, and I'm looking at the pink dyed maple. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to sell my soul to Satan. Yeah, I'm selling it out. I made a Santoku. I made the Santoku the most girly knife, and I put pink dyed maple on it. Yeah, I done that. Other than that, I just feel like a little burnt out, man. Like I've been thinking about Sydney Knife Show, and I'm trying to keep up with the customs, and yeah, I just feel like I'm burned out. I don't want to see any knives. I just want to take a few days break, and I just want to fucking make a sword, which is actually I got one in my hand.
I was wondering whether that's what we saw swinging around in the background.
Yeah.
Again, for the benefit of those people listening.
Speaking of sword, our good friend Matt Snape, so he came here a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I can do 3D printing. I'm like, okay, I want you to, and I gave him this crossguard. This crossguard is from a 18th or 19th century sword, Turkish sword. And I said, can you get me mold out of this? I'm like, yeah, I can do it. And he said, okay, I'm going to send you a package. And he sent me the rendering of 3D, and a package came in. And I opened the package, and these are like the 3D printings of this crossguard.
No.
I'm like, look at this. And I start digging deeper in the box. Okay. Like, oh yeah, this is
what's deeper in the box.
This is a little bit thinner. Okay, that will do. Then all of a sudden, I start. So this is for those who listen on a podcast. If you still do, that's the contact in the shape of a dick and a limp dick, not like a. So this is what you call a dick limp. I'm thinking like, good fucking
You
job.
gotta put that in. You gotta make a knife and put that in the best art knife at the Sydney show.
Look at that. Look at that. This motherfucker took the time. Look at it. Look at it.
Someone with a little dick on there. Oh, I'm crying.
That's the one with the little dicks.
And the other one's a two-handed sword, is it?
It's a hand and a half. Guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you've got to join in live and watch the live thing, because you're just missing out on the biggest, blackest, flaccidest dick guard you've ever seen. It's fantastic.
He sat down, he programmed it on a 3D printer, he even made the hole. Look at it.
That's good.
I can just imagine him doing it too.
I got to tell you, he's sending, the whole time he was doing it, he's sending me pictures. I think Mert will like this.
He sent me one as well, and I'm like, I just forgot about it until now.
I've heard of knife porn before.
Thanks for the crossguards. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are not very historically accurate, but it's okay.
Oh, golden. Well done, Matt. Well played, son. Well played, Matt.
Yeah,
Matt Snape.
Thanks, Matt.
Good work.
Matt Snape, thank you.
Bollocks.
Bollocks, yep.
It's a three-handed.
Oh. Man, that's just...
Look, it fits.
Turn around the other way, and then you got a guard.
Yes.
Oh, far out.
So the new...
that's the best line.
Oh, that's awesome.
It'll take your eye out.
Your enemy would be like, What is that? A dick? Oh, you'd have them. You'd catch their eye. They'd lose concentration. Have a quick chuckle. Sword cross, slash their throat. All over.
They'd die with a smile on their face. Oh man! Oh, Connie, what was I just telling you about that?
Read
this is
that
going to
comment. Come on, read that comment. We might get cancelled, but read that comment. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, you can. I'm all over. I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So again, well, for the guys that were listening and not watching, one of the commenters has written, "It has a Jap's eye. It must be a katana."
For a katana. Jamie says, I hope Matt Snake didn't model for that one. Well, he had to get his inspiration somewhere, and he did what he knew best. So we'll go with that. So I want to see that. I want to see that cast in bronze on a sword on a table.
He obviously lives in a warmer climate.
I'm thinking about bringing my swords to Sydney Knife Show.
We've got to, yeah, you should, Mert. You should, except people will touch them. And we've got to do that casting course. We've got to book ourselves back in and get that shit organised.
Yeah, we got to go to casting couch. Sorry, casting course.
Yeah, casting couch. That's the one. Yeah. I've seen that video. Yeah. Anyway, so what else, Mert? How's the family? How's that dog?
Oh, mate. Dog is all right. He sounded like he was about to fucking eat me today. It's everybody wants a big dog till they have one. And let me tell you guys, I'm 125, 30 kilos, and he's 65 to 70. That motherfucker pulled me. Andrew Blomfield came in last week, and I said, look, I said, Andrew, like I have to take my dog outside so he sees you. Otherwise, if you come in the house, you come into his territory. He needs to meet you outside. And I'm thinking, I'll just take him outside. And my dog just took off, and I end up like holding his collar. His collar is in my hand, and he's going to Andrew like fucking butting his head off. I jumped on him. I'm trying to hold him. My wife heard me screaming. She came out. So I'm holding his front legs. She lifted his back legs. So we got the dog. Both of us, we lifted the dog, and he's trying to fucking kick his legs and all that. It's not easy.
Did Andrew survive the encounter? I would have shat myself. I would have been like, I'm going clean up. Yeah. Andrew
came out looking like 70 years. By the time he sat on the table, it looked like he was like fucking 90 years old.
I'll be back in a second.
No worries.
Didn't Dimitri Popov's dog was like 90 kilos. That thing was a monster. He lived around the corner from my sister.
Yeah, look, if Dimitri's dog is like a little pup next to Kaya. Right? You've got to see this dog. Right? It's what's the name of the dog, Mert?
The breed is called Kangal. Kangal is a Turkish lifestyle guardian. And these guys, like you see big dogs, you see heavy dogs. My friend had this dog is like 70 kilos. Like, once you see this, you're like, oh, okay, that's a whole different breed.
Adam, there you go. That's a Kangal.
Jesus. Yeah, well,
it's like a horse, right?
It's like a horse. And they are very, very, very strong. Like, very strong. Yeah. Actually, that one is not a Kangal. Corin, that one is actually a different breed. So the one that you see the larger picture, it's actually a different dog. That dog is known as Malaklı, and Malaklı is over 100 kilos, and Kaya is only 70.
All right. So that's only 70. There you go. That's a Kangal there. They're big dogs. Whatever. That's a Kangal too. Look at that.
Yeah.
They just, if one's barking at you, Adam, and it's coming at you, poo's coming out. There's no stopping it. It's like poo's coming out.
Look at
that puppy.
Oh, just a minute. Let me try and figure out how to get you onto the big screen, Kev. Wait up. There you go.
There you go. Look here. This is our little rat bag. 5-month-old border collie Kobe. He's a good fella. Oh, good boy. He's tired.
Oh, look at
Aren't you tired? Yeah. Kiss. Good boy. Good boy.
Nice work.
Right. What are you doing? You going to sit around for a little while? Yeah, you're going to hang out and talk to everyone?
He is.
didn't
I
realise
reckon he
the
is.
pets were on display. I can go and brush my goats and show
I'd like to see you get a goat on your lap in this position.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
hang on. Just going to take that back now.
I don't think he's that way inclined. I'm certainly hoping not. So yeah, I've had a pretty full on week. I don't know if you guys know the YouTube channel I Did a Thing. You guys know Alex from I Did a Thing?
No.
He's got about 1.6 million followers, and he came down to my house. Came down to my house and made a hammer last Friday. So that was pretty cool. I had a meeting with him and my contacts with Cyro about burning shit, which is a thing he might do maybe in the future. Who knows? And while he was down here, we forged a hammer. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel. He's got the world's worst blacksmith forges an axe or something. It's one of his videos, and it's pretty cool to watch somebody with nothing do something cool. And that's I Did a Thing is the channel.
Yeah,
He's Australian.
He's Australian. Yeah, mate. He would be. I think he probably lives in the same street as Swato used to live in Epping. But anyway, we won't get carried away. I shouldn't give away his. I don't know where he lives. So anyway, he's a good guy, and we made that hammer and we tested out a new bit of gear that I think will be the first commercially available piece of equipment of its type. Don't want to give anything away yet, but he was pretty. I was pretty impressed. He was pretty impressed. And
is this the one you were discussing with me?
No, blah, 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 yeah, you know what it is. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. So and we installed one down at.
I just want everyone to know that I know what's going on and they don't.
No, that's cool. You're in. And we installed one down in Sean McIntyre's workshop, and he's just blown away. He reckons it's genius. So we're going to release it. It won't be. It'll be released in the next few weeks. So stay tuned on the bulk buy group, because I'm going to run a bulk buy and we're going to purchase en masse. We're going to manufacture these things en masse. So pretty sweet.
I would almost, Corin, and this is in a serious sense, patent that fucking thing.
Oh, I can't. No, it's not patentable, but it'll be the first commercially available one, and it'll be made properly. Won't be a backyard job or nothing, and it'll be pretty fucking sweet. So, yeah, I'm very happy. I'm not going to give anything else away. Just talk about nothing else. So that's where we're at. And
I might even say that it's a little bit better than Mert's dick guard.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, no, the dick guard trumps all. The dick guard trumps all. You think that's funny? Check out my. He's going to have his hand on his sword.
That'll be a champion rower at the end of this, won't he?
Yeah. That'll never get old. But anyway, it's official gag, but I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We've been flat out at Gamaco. We've been up to 2 weeks behind shipping orders, just absolutely getting pummeled. When we're also today we just packed up the Gamaco truck, which has been out of action for a year, ready for our show season. So we're going to do our first show. We'll be up at where the fuck are we going? Ninderry on the Sunshine Coast. Not this weekend coming, but the weekend after. So we'll probably have Luke on the Thursday after. Luke Berkelman's after the hammering, and we'll have a bit of a rundown. We're going to do we're going up there to do a collaboration as well with another famous YouTuber that's invited us to stay at his house, and you'll hear more about that later. We're going to do a collaboration with Matty Spewbum and myself and Timmy, and maybe I Did a Thing. I'm not sure if he's coming or not yet. So it's all happening. Speaking of that, actually, that's all right. Okay, who's making the cabbage guard to match? Now, Jimmy Barber wants to know who's making a cabbage guard to match the dick guard. So there you go. The challenge has been set.
Don't
Cabbage
let
should be
Matt
the
Smith
Oh,
hear
cabbage pommel! A cabbage pommel! Oh, oh,
Oh, yeah.
my dirty
Oh
teenage
my
brain.
God.
Oh, you are Jimmy. You're a legend. You are a legend. Yes.
Matt Snape, when you're listening to this later, you've now got to make a cabbage pommel to match your dick
gotta
guard,
happen.
and then we'll do a sword.
Oh, man. What's this one? Connie Hansen says the dick guard is a fucking Jedi move. I reckon you got to have not just a dick guard, it's got to have dick grips, dick handle, and a cabbage pommel. Man, fuck, you're all over it.
I should carve like fucking veins on it.
inlaid silver vein.
Oh,
Too
much.
We did touch on knife making for a bit there, didn't we? Oh man.
There's a hammer in June. There's a hammer in June in WA. What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, ads. Thanks for joining us impromptu tonight. Good to catch up, mate. Good to see you. Guys, if you don't follow Adam, stay tuned. Follow his Instagram and his Facebook.
I think he's got about another 7 followers since we've been on.
Good.
On Instagram at least.
Yeah, his Facebook page is fairly active. Yeah, you've nearly doubled it. And
you're up to 20 followers, mate.
Things to do before I go to bed, but good to see everyone, and I'll see you next week.
Righto, mate. Thanks for joining us.
No worries. See you, mate. Bye. So Troy Hagerman's going to take up the challenge of the cabbage pommel.
Do it, Troy.
he's stuck. He's got time. He can't do anything else, and he's got a 3D printer. So all on. You may just get a special surprise in the mail.
He's going to print out the girlfriend.
Oh, dear. That is too funny. So what we're saying, sorry, Timbo is having a hammering in June on the long weekend in WA. Ben Eustace posted that up before. That's good to see. Bit more activity going on.
WA Facebook group for knife makers. Jump onto that. And if you're in WA, and just get all the information there. Good on him. Good on them. They're getting together and making it happen. It's good to see. I think Gamako is going to be there. Gamako WA, Danica is going to be there and take some prizes and door shit and door prizes and giveaways and stuff. So yeah, at Luke's one, we're giving away. We've probably got about 50 kilos of 1075 to give away. I don't know. There's a lot there, and we're just going to be giving it away. So just jump in on that.
Nice.
Just because it's all just various shapes and sizes, but it's just stuff we thought we could probably share the love. So that'll be all right. There'll be some stuff for sale, obviously, and we'd like you to buy it, but there's practice stuff there. And that's it. We're ready to go, actually. Yeah. And what else is news?
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, actually, what's news and what people
Jesus. Knife maker.
With a lot to learn. It's Timmy. He's a handful of trouble at every
Timmy, what's going on?
Timmy leaves the
Gamako Artisan Supplies.
goes up to the trying to be cool, he's number one. He joins all his friends,
Knifemaking Down Under podcast.
and he's always having such a lot of fun. Timmy, it's Timmy.
Well,
Oh, good day, everybody.
Hey!
Timmy.
Long time no see. That's a beautiful knife you got there, Matt.
It's a sword. It's a very famous
It's
one.
a
It's called
sword.
Sexcalibur.
Sexcalibur.
This is the quality I've come on.
oh my god. I now know what the podcast name is going to be. Introducing Sexcalibur to the tinderbox.
To the tinderbox.
Oh, dear.
We don't put on Google or whatever the other Apple little listeners are that search the internet for you listening to this podcast. Your internet search history will look through some pretty weird shit. Goats, Excaliburs, tinder boxes.
Oh, the questions are coming in thick and fast, Timmy. Raymond
Ah.
Davies wants to know what happened to his can't twist clamps.
They're in the post. Aren't they?
Oh,
Post.
Are you not
Oh,
going
they're
yet?
in the
Post, love it.
They better be in the post.
We'll have a
Or they're
tracking
2
number.
weeks behind.
They are. We are running very, very far behind. I'm sorry, everybody, but it's just incredibly busy and not a whole lot we could do about it. We actually took delivery of 2 shipping containers full of stock, 2 full shipping containers full of steel, full of kilns, full of just shit tons of stuff. Oh, what have we got there, Timmy? All the new stuff. Tell them the new stuff, Timmy.
The new stuff. Come on.
Tell them the new stuff.
The new
There's
stuff.
new stuff. Well, I think I personally think the most exciting thing is the super glue we've got.
I do too.
You sniffing it.
Oh yeah. No.
Everyone's happy at work.
So that's pretty exciting. It's from Starbond. It's a really quality brand. I used it a little time before I got it in for Gamico. And I was like, oh, I got to get it in. But it's really hard to get because you can't air freight it. It's all got to be sea shipped and it takes forever. But it's here now. So that's one thing. And there's also just a whole bunch of new steel, like CPM steels.
Yes.
Stuff that, cold board. And, we finally put up on the website because we'll pull our hands out. And now it's up. And we've got all this steel. So that's cool.
Yeah.
There's
And,
more
we've got
a
steel
lot of
with.
steel.
There's looked at your newsletter that came out with the steel link, the CPM steel. They had the S35VN, the magic one. But you're right. You click on there, and there is a very large page view of CPM steels, and it's like, shit. Shit's getting real.
Shit's getting real.
Shit's getting real. And if we didn't have 20 ton of blade steel in stock, through every order that we've placed in the last year all coming together, I'd be surprised. There's a fucking lot of metal in our shop at the moment.
And there's a lot that isn't on the website yet. So we've got a whole bunch of
tons.
More newsletters to come
steel,
out, mate.
14
You
steel.
beauty.
Oh, look,
Got
it's
12
just
steel.
taking time to check everything in because everything came in at once. We had a container delayed. It came in with another container, just the way COVID is at the moment. We've got new staff. Somebody said my order came in 3 days. Yep, good for you. That's a problem because the new staff weren't sending in chronological order, and that's why we were up to 2 weeks behind because orders were getting put to the side and the stuff in the middle was going. And so we're getting all those things resolved as new people come on board. Raymond Davies apparently had a faulty can't twist clamp, Timmy.
Yeah.
You have sent him a new one.
Out, but if not, I'll get it sent out tomorrow. I've got a message now. So
yep, make it happen. Yep, no dramas. We've just been flat out, guys. Absolutely smashed. And of course, Cole's gone out, and we're just retraining at the moment to get people up to speed. So it's just taking a little time.
But it's all good fun, all fun and games. Great problems to have. Lots of orders, and people have been incredibly supportive of us, even if it's been tricky. And there's
just a lot happening. Every bar of steel's got to be labelled and put away, and it's just intense. But we're smashing it. We're enjoying it, and we're doing the best we can, and that's good. And we've got some good new team members. They're all coming on board. So
awesome.
And a couple that have left have decided they want to come back as well. But I didn't tell you about that, Timmy. But we'll talk about that as well. So
boomerangs or retreads, as we call them.
Yeah, the grass wasn't as green on the other side. But,
Anyway.
And Tim, look at him. He looks like he's been run over by a truck, and that's pretty much what's happened. He's worked every weekend trying to help catch up. He's flat stick, doing a great job, and appreciate it. Timmy, tell us about the glues. Did you tell him what we have? Those new super glues?
Yeah. So there's thick, medium, and thin, which is there's also medium and black. So,
Ooh,
You need
Just like
anything.
you like it. Just like you like it, Mert.
cover up those gaps in your Ricasso.
Cover up all the gaps. But that thin stuff is really great because you can squirt in all the little micro cracks of anything that you've got, any
Yeah.
block of
You scored in a
timber.
crack.
And we got something to go with it. You can do that. Fucking hell, Mert. You can do that. Oh, Jesus
Thanks,
Christ.
Caliber.
Excalibur, squirting the little cracks all the time.
Um,
Oh wow.
the other thing we got was zip kicker stuff. The
Oh, yeah,
accelerator.
the accelerant. That
And-
stuff's cool.
That stuff's cool. And I've got it on good advice from Mal from Otis Knives. Don't glue your wounds up with super glue and hit it with the accelerator. Apparently, that's really bad. Anyway,
it burns.
this-
It burns.
Yeah.
It burns.
yeah. So, and we also got remover. So we've got a whole new range of super glues, and they're
The
really
Debond-
good quality.
The Debond stuff is very handy to have.
Yeah. So we've got a really good range there. There's heaps of it, and looking forward to seeing people using that to its full extent to cover up some of those gaps. It'll make judging at the shows and stuff a whole lot better when there's not so many gaps and stuff.
Just rims of
It's all
black
filled in.
super glue
Beautiful.
around the Ricassos.
Oh, yeah. Don't start me.
Pretty cool bunch,
Don't
aren't
start
we?
me.
Pretty cool
Oh,
bunch.
look, I saw a knife. I saw a knife the other day, and it's just I got to say, there's one thing I can't stand. I've said it from the start of this podcast. It's burnt pins. Those
Oh,
black rings around pins, and people that should know better putting knives up, saying how look at this beautiful, unique piece with a bloody burnt pin. It's like,
It's a feature.
oh, it's a fucking
yeah,
flaw.
it's a feature.
Yes.
Just like
So anyway,
the
that's
glue
just
ring
me.
around, just like the glue ring around them if it's not burnt.
Oh, we know Matt loves rings, so
Burnt ring.
Ian, one of our customer service managers, says if anybody has any big dramas with their orders, just email customer service New South Wales. That's too long an email address. Get in touch with him on Facebook. Ian Ronald Gamaco Sales.
Change that to complaints at Gamaco.
I don't even want a complaints one.
No,
Just
I'm just kidding. No.
customer service. That email probably directs to the fucking photocopier or something. Just to anyway.
To
Never
the
mind.
shredder.
I don't know. Just get in touch with us and we will sort it. Pick up the phone. If you've got an urgent order you need out, we'll walk it through. We're doing everything we can. It's just a bit tough at the moment, but we're getting on top of it. And it is what it is.
it is.
Tim,
It is
you got
what it
another
is.
one. Any luck? What's this one?
You're putting me on the spot, Karen.
know.
I've already taken a
No,
minute.
Dion did. Dion's got a ramping issue with a Paragon. Dion, get in touch with me. Probably just need
Yeah.
to set your PID gain. That's if it's overshooting or something, we just change the PID gain and that'll fix it straight up. Just send me a message on Facebook and I'll teach you how to do that. It's no big drama at all. If it's anything more complicated than that, of course we can help. We've got the know-how. What else have we got here? Timmy, there's a question from Douglas.
Yeah, so you just have to leave it.
Will.
It will.
If you
It just
accidentally
makes
have a bit of glue on between your fingers when you're about to spray, and you stick your fingers together, that's when it's really handy to have the debond, because you literally just drop a couple of drops on there, and within 20 seconds or something, you got your fingers apart and working, and no skin ripped off. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. That's why I have the debond for that reason. It's not normally to take shit apart on the knives; it's to like unstick the fingers. Works well.
That's an
There you
important
go.
one.
And Jay says, just bring it up on the podcast. That's the best way. And that's fine, guys. You just keep bringing it up on the podcast. We'll get it sorted.
At
It does
9:30
work.
at 9:30 at night. That's the first thing you'll remember in the morning.
But we're here to help. The guys
Yes,
are there.
true.
They're trained. They're knife makers. We employ knife makers to help. Ronald Knives, Ian Ronald, published in Blade magazine. You got Tim. You've been published in magazines around the world, Tim. We got
And some
Google
knife
Knives,
magazines.
Joe, myself. We are knife makers, guys, and we're whilst none of us are like professional, really awesome knife makers, we all have a go. We've all exhibited at shows except for me and Joe and Alan. But other than that, we've all exhibited at shows, and we've been around, so we're here to help. And Corey Cunningham has some more feedback for you. He says, Tim, I messed up my glue up today. Not your fault, but just add that to your list. Now, I think you should, Tim. I think it's uber critical. I'm sorry, guys, but look at Tim. He's absolutely smashed. He has been working like a Trojan for weeks, and it's not going to end yet because we're about to drive a truck to Queensland. So,
Oh my God! Who
Be
gets
right.
the middle seat?
It's just the two of them.
Andrew Smith said, will Ronald Knives and Ford Forge be exhibiting at Sydney? In the past, they have, but this year they made the decision to support their employer, but I think mainly because we've worked them so hard in the last.
They've got no knives.
They got no
I don't
knives.
have any knives. I don't have any knives.
Knives? What are knives? He says.
I haven't finished the
Oh,
knife
those things I
part.
used to make. Yeah.
But
Now, Andrew
on-
Smith brings up something that we've touched upon it with both Mertz and my Instagram coming up on the screen. The Sydney Knife Show. It's going ahead, folks. Tickets are now available to purchase.
Yes.
We've had a few inquiries, or I've had a few inquiries privately about the situation. We've had to put the ticketing into morning and afternoon sessions on Saturday and Sunday so that we can have the show run according to the New South Government guidelines to apparently keep everyone safe. So we can't help the situation that we're in, and I think I speak on behalf of nearly every knife maker that's bought nearly every table that was available. We'd rather have a show like that than not have a show at all. So you need to buy your tickets online. There is no ticketing at the door. Don't come on the day expecting to get in. You need to pre-purchase your tickets and just need to do what we ask to get into the show. Come visit all us knife makers because we're champing at the bit to see punters. We're champing at the bit to see everyone. We just really just can't wait. Nervous as a fucking pig in front of Mert's pork sword there, but I tell you what, it's going to go ahead.
No, I was about to say, like, there's only a few tables left. If you guys are thinking of
Andrew, how many tables have we got
I'll
left?
just think about it. No, just
there was like 4 or 5 tables the last time I spoke to one of the guys involved in it, and that was a little while ago.
We started, me and Adam and the team. Adam from Tinderbox Knives, look him up. We started the Sydney show in 2014, and it was pretty tough to get people to come. This year, because we were selling tables for like 3 times the price of anybody else's show, this year the table prices haven't changed or anything, and we sold out in like 2 weeks. It was absolutely unbelievable. Just sold out.
Andrew's down the bottom there. Three tables and 1 gold exhibitor left,
which is just bloody impressive.
Crazy. It's unreal. Well, I tell you what, like I said, excited. Excited doesn't sort of express how we are at the moment about this. We've been on hold for a freaking long time. Been watching other events occur, like we were saying last time. I think it was the camping and boating show, whatever, up the same place. It's our turn. It's our turn. It's our freaking turn. And I forget who I was talking to again. Talked to a lot of people over the last few days and stuff, but it's probably the penultimate knife show to go to because all of us knife makers have probably got a reasonable amount of stock and good stock to put on show for people to buy. Bruce Barnett from WA, he's coming over. Be fantastic to see Bruce.
Check out Andrew Smith. There's 180 tables, guys. 180 tables sold for Sydney Knife Show this year, which is probably what we do every year. But regardless, sold in 2 weeks. So massive. Going to be a great show.
Yeah. If you've got like half an hour to get off the fence and buy your table if you're one of those 3 standard exhibitors. You can't share tables this year. So just sorry about that, but they're the rules we've got to follow. One maker per table, or that sort of thing. So, but yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Getting close to it, it's going to be very, very exciting. Very, very tense times, actually.
Stan Stanley says, "G'day guys. With the return of shows, will there be less raffles?" Andrew's answering that question. Andrew Smith from the Knife Art Association has just answered that in the comments, so I'll put that up. We have one more raffle featuring top Sydney exhibitors, just waiting for one more knife to be completed. So we are going to keep doing raffles, but the raffles will probably move back to what we always did, which is we run them at the shows and before the shows. So they'll be drawn at the shows instead of just randomly.
If we encounter anything where we have more situations of lockdowns and stuff, then we'll obviously work on that at the time. We'll probably throw in the odd non-show raffle because they've been really successful. But whole thing with the Knife Art Association is we want to promote the industry and promote it in a positive way. By most of the way we do that is running shows, and don't have to have a degree in anything to know that we just haven't been able to do that. So the way we've kept the coffers up to put shows on again, because they're not cheap, and we have Andrew, who's our awesome employee that we definitely don't want to lose him. So we've got to keep paying Andrew a salary. So we've been running the raffles to keep on top of that. But we don't want to saturate the market with an overflow of it. And, we've always got that in the back of our minds, the committee sitting there going, people just going, oh, not another knife art raffle. So we'll probably keep one or two non-knife show raffles up with really good prizes. And the rest of it's going to be, as we've always done, as Corin just said, knives and stuff at the show. Come buy your tickets when you come in the door, and hopefully your number gets drawn out.
Dion says 180 tables is awesome. Is half a day really enough to see it all? Dion, we're just preparing you for the day you go to Blade Show, because when you go to Blade Show, you've got 30 seconds to see each table if you want to see everything. At Sydney Show, there's 240 minutes in half a day. It's better than a minute a table. You'll be fine.
That's it. It's possibly not enough time to see everything. And I dare say there's going to be a few people that are just going to bite the bullet and say, I'll take a Saturday ticket for the morning and a Saturday ticket for the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you an extra $16, but if you're there, you're there.
If you're serious.
We honestly don't have a say in it. We don't have a say in it to operate it otherwise. That's what's been deemed as an acceptable plan by the New South Wales government for us to run this event. Is there a Canberra show? Yes, John, there is. I was over talking to Karim a week or so ago, and the Canberra Knife Show at this point in time is being planned for the first Sunday in December. It's usually just a one-day event, and it normally runs from 10 until 3. And even without putting in the COVID plan and all the rest of it, from what I understand with Karim, and this is just a conversation that we had, so nothing's set in stone, of course, we'll probably have enough space, enough room, because it's an outdoor show, probably enough space, enough room, not even to worry about even having one of the COVID plans in. Probably people just need to check in at the door or sign in at the door. And that. So, Troy, yes, it's looking at going ahead.
Troy's looking at saying about demonstrators. Are you having demonstrators at the front still going ahead? There will be demonstrators. It won't be the same as we've done in the past, though. We're having the committees in discussions at the moment. We're looking to run a concurrent event. I'll leave that for now because no decision's been made.
We'll get on to that till we know for certain.
Yeah, but the answer is there'll be something in some format. It may be bigger and better than anyone's ever seen, or it may be just what we've always seen, or it just may be nothing. We don't know yet. Timmy, you look like you're nodding off, and I know for a fact you need to get some sleep.
Yeah, get some sleep, boy.
Can I just I got something here for you, Timmy.
Oh, yeah.
Night, Timmy. Well, it's time to go. Boom, 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 boom. Good night, Timmy. Well, it's time to go. Boom, 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 boom. I hate to leave you, but really must say good night,
Timmy.
good night. Boom, 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 boom.
We made that for you, Timmy.
Oh,
So you get some sleep, lad. You get some sleep, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning. Good on you, mate.
see ya.
See you, Tim.
So looking at so Stan, you've got a few questions here about the shows and stuff.
Yeah, let's be
yes,
real
tell
about
it-
this. Let's just answer a lot of these questions in one go.
Jump online
guys-
to
Oh, yeah.
Knifemaking Down
Sorry.
Under podcast or this page. There's always links up from Andrew, or go and look at the Sydney Knife Show page, which links to all of the other knife shows run by the KAA.
And
the
we
other-
advertise. We
and we
actually
advertise
promote.
the other shows.
Yeah, we advertise. The KAA promotes the other shows as well. So if it's a
Yep.
Canberra show or a
Melbourne.
Melbourne show, they promoted normally in the banners in the top of any of those pages that are run by the KAA, like the best Facebook page, Australian Blacksmiths and Knife Makers. That's your best bets to follow the banner on the top of that. Andrew keeps them updated. We probably should set something up in Knife Making Down Under. I don't think we have. That's probably a very good idea. When we get a bit of time, I'll look at it. But everybody asking about the other shows, guys. If we run Sydney show and get away with it, you can bet your life it's game back on.
Oh hell yeah!
Game on.
Yep.
Yep.
Paul Fontanini's asked a question about if I do various forged items but not really knives, will I look like a numpty having a table at a knife show? Absolutely not. No, because we
People do
have
that.
Sydney Knife Show, dude. You have people selling chopping boards,
Fuck yeah.
pans, everything.
Yep.
You got to remember that it's apart from this year where we've got to sell tickets online. A lot of the people that were coming through last year were from events around the area in there just to have a look. And if you've got something, if they're not wanting to buy a knife and you've got a forged art object or something, man, you're going to make a sale out of that.
Or something.
Yeah, bottle openers, just whatever.
I know
Funky, cool
people.
stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Like people make there's a lot of people just do stuff like that's like Kirinashis and stuff that you can put on the side of your table. You might be selling for $30-$50, something like that. And it's just those sort of things as well that can keep your table selling stuff because people see the value in it. And sometimes you can't guarantee you're going to sell a single knife. So the whole experience, you've just got to live in the moment and enjoy it because anything that happens is just make it fun. That's all that really matters.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
then we go.
So that's the exciting. I think that's the exciting news. And tickets are on sale now. And we've had a couple of people. I saw Steve Eads, I think it was saying that he's already bought a couple of tickets. They're on sale now. There's limited numbers that we can sell. Jump in and support us, especially if you're around that area and you've not been able to do something that you want to. Go on and buy a ticket. It's to support the ongoing creation and arrangement of knife shows. So, Knife Art Association, just as a reminder, we're a not-for-profit organisation. We have one employee and we have a massive team of people now behind the scenes organising and hoping to put these events on. But nothing comes for free in terms of advertisements and trying to put on premier locations. So help us out, come along, pay for a ticket, come along and say good day to us. Come and see Mert and me. We'll be close together. Probably just a dick guard apart from each other.
Oh, God help you all. God help you all. Well, anyway.
Yes.
Where were we?
I'm running low on a battery, guys.
He's running low on batteries. I thought I heard the humming stop. All right.
Yes. Stop pedaling.
The buzzing. Yeah. All
right. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't know it took batteries, mate.
Yeah.
The dick guard. Yeah, it's okay. Happy days. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have Luke on next fortnight when we do this all again. We'll see how that goes. And And yeah, shit's getting real, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Call it a
Right.
night, fellas.
Yep, calling it a night. Thanks for
All right,
joining
thanks
us.
everyone for joining
Everyone
and
on the
listening.
line stream. Everybody that's not joining on the line stream. Some fortnights, not every fortnight, but some fortnights we record live. You can. Sometimes our fortnights are 3 weeks, and sometimes they're only 1 week. But if you just join in on Knife Making Down Under, and you're around at the last minute when we decide we're going to do something, then you can join right in. Thanks to the 60 odd people that came in tonight. That was great. That came through, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much to Adam for Tinderbox Knives for being around at the start of the KAA and being still around and doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he didn't. He said, "Oh, I didn't know where he lived when he signed up." I signed him up. I wrote his name down and paid his dues and told him I'd done it. That's how he got in. But anyway,
Awesome.
At the pub after the show on Saturday night. Oh yeah. Are we going to the? That's a big night. The exhibitors function after the Sydney Knife Show on Saturday night over at the bowling club. That's the night when I get the longest receipt of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
As the treasurer of the KAA, it's my duty to get the receipt with every drink on it. It's
Last time I think it held
like
up
4 meters
4 feet
long.
above the bar.
It's a big receipt that night, and we have a good night. So just come with your happy face. The locals don't like us because we take over their bar where no one ever drinks ever, and they yell at us and start to pick fights. And that's pretty funny because it's just funny. Have a good one. See you later.
See everyone.
Good night,
Bye.
guys. Thanks for listening.